Water inside China's Three Gorges Dam nears maximum levels. Torrential rain has water level at world's biggest dam to record, forcing authorities to increase discharge volumes. 12 hours ago. Water levels at China's giant Three Gorges Dam on the Yangtze River are inching closer to their maximum after torrential rains raised inflows to a record high, official data showed on Friday. With 75,000 cubic meters per second of water flowing in from the Yangtze River on Thursday, the reservoir's depth had reached 165.6 meters (543 feet) by Friday morning, up more than 2 meters (6.6 feet) overnight and almost 20 meters (65.6 feet) higher than the official warning level. The maximum design depth of China's largest reservoir is 175 meters (574 feet). Authorities raised the discharge volume to a record 48,800 cubic meters per second on Thursday to try and lower water levels, and they might have to increase it again to avoid the possibility of a dangerous overflow. They will do everything they can to prevent the dam from overtopping, said Desiree Tullos, a professor at Oregon State University who studies the Three Gorges Project, the world's biggest hydroelectric dam. An overtopping dam is a worst-case scenario because it produces significant damage, and can lead to the entire thing collapsing. Rainfall in the Yangtze Basin has been well over double the seasonal average this year. Up to last week, 63 million people had been affected by flooding, which had caused nearly 180 billion yuan ($26 billion) in economic damage. The Three Gorges, completed in 2012, was designed not only to generate power but also to reduce the risk of flooding from the Yangtze, the cause of many devastating floods throughout China's history. China's giant hydroelectric dams have stored more than 100 billion cubic meters of floodwater this year, and shielded 18.5 million residents from evacuation, according to government figures. The Three Gorges project alone has cut downstream floodwaters by 34%, officials said. But opponents say the flood control capability of the Three Gorges Dam is limited, and it could even make the problem worse in the long term. Sichuan hit by China's biggest flood in 70 years, Three Gorges downstream. Three Gorges Dam braces for number 5 flood days after number 4 flood struck. Number 4 flood passing through Three Gorges Dam. Taipei, Taiwan News, Sichuan Province, which sits on the upper reaches of the Yangtze River, on Monday, August 17, braced for some of the worst flooding seen in over 70 years, likely to bring the number 5
China's
flood downstream to the beleaguered Three Gorges Dam.
August 18,
After the number 4 flood of the year passed through the Three Gorges Dam on Saturday, August 15, the Changjiang Water Resources Commission (CWRC)
5 a.m.
issued an orange flood warning for the Jialing River and its tributary Fu River on the upper reaches of the Yangtze in Sichuan Province on Sunday, August.
The highest in the fourth-tier system.
It predicted that the latest bout of flooding will likely form the number 5 flood of the year and could come only 2 or 3 days after the previous one. The peak of the number 4 flood on the Yangtze River passed through the Three Gorges Reservoir at around 8 a.m. on the 15th. The water inflow reached 62,000 cubic meters per second, which was higher than the previous 3 floods this year. According to local Sichuan media reports, the province has seen a new round of torrential rainfall since August 10. During this period, the local meteorological bureau in Sichuan issued an orange rainstorm warning on 2 consecutive days for the first time this year. The rainstorm covered 12% of Sichuan province, causing 41 rivers in the territory to exceed the warning level. Of these, 22 rivers exceeded the so-called safe level, which is currently set at twice the level of floodwaters seen during the flood season last year. Authorities predict that the flood will peak on Monday afternoon. It is estimated that the water level of Chengdu's Jintang County, which is located on the upper reaches of the Tuo River, will exceed the safe level by 3.85 meters and maximum peak discharge will climb to 8,200 cubic meters per second, setting a new record since the founding of Communist China 71 years ago. Judging from the historical records of the Jintang Sanhuamiao Hydrological Station since 1949, the highest flow rate recorded was 8,100 cubic meters per second in 1981. If it reaches 8,200 cubic meters per second this time, it means that the flood peak will set an all-time record, reported news.sina.com. Neijiang City's Zizong County on the middle reaches of Tuozhang River is also expected to face the peak of the flooding at 4 p.m. The Tuo River has overflowed the local dike, and more than half of Gaijun has been flooded. In response, local authorities have evacuated more than 3,000 people, half of the local population. At present, the road leading to Gaijun has been flooded, and the town has become an island. It is predicted that as water levels continue to rise, 3/4 of the town could become inundated. Local media reported that the dike in the Mingtai Reservoir area of Shindejun in Mianyang City's Santay County was in danger early Monday morning. The local water resources agency quickly evacuated more than 5,000 people from the area. Of Chongqing recorded a flow rate as high as 50,100 cubic meters per second. The CWRC predicted that by early Wednesday morning, August 19, the water